a particular principle of a command is applied in, the ancient Near East when you have nomadic tribes wandering around the desert is going to be different from modern day America being able to apply the commands. Now the principles are the same, but the application by necessity is going to be different.
Yeah.
The problem with I have with some Talmudic and Mishnaic traditions is they want to say, well, this is the precedent that the ancient rabbis set out for this particular halakha, which halakha means walk. So that's your actual, how you apply the commands, how you walk things out. So they have specific traditions as far as how halakha is supposed to be done pertaining to certain commands, but some of these things are really like how they were applied in their time. And if you start digging deeper, you'll realize that there have been other rabbis from other locations or different time periods that disagreed with the previous rulings.
Yeah.
But it's like you're reading, case law from the Supreme Court. That's essentially what Mishnah is for the most part. So you can take how they applied a certain thing and extract a principle from that, but you can't say, okay, this is the way God says do it. It's like, no, that may have been the way God said do it in that particular instance.
Yeah.
But so long as you're keeping to the principle of the root command of what you were dealing with to begin with over here, then by necessity there would probably be a slightly different tradition or a different way of walking this out in a different location. And the thing is, it even varies family to family, congregation to congregation, etc. But the thing is, it's the underlying principle of doing all that really is about unity. Because you can even go to different Baptist churches, and a person from a Baptist church over here goes to a Baptist church over here and down in Louisiana, and it may not even feel comfortable because it's going to be a totally different world.
Yeah.
Whereas you can go to a synagogue in Israel and then go to a synagogue in New York, and they're going to be identical. You'll be comfortable. You may not even speak the common language, but you'll all speak Hebrew. So there'll be that element of, as soon as you walk in, you're accepted and part of the community because you're familiar with the traditions, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So you can walk in and integrate yourself for however long you're there.
Yeah, because you're all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. And Christian denominations are not like that.
No,
not even within the same
Every
denomination.
church you go to is practically different anymore.
Yeah. Everything's because there's no unifying structure, not even the word itself in reality, because everybody wants to interpret things completely different.
That's why I try to stay consistent, Mike, with whatever we do. I mean, that's why I just try to get very blunt, man. I mean, I'm not going to be your feel-good guy. I'm sorry. And you're not either. I know you. Here it is. Here's the information you need. Here's the knowledge you can obtain. Do it. Don't dance around this mess. Yeah, that's what kills me.
And if you struggle with something, we can talk about that.
Oh,
but you can't talk about necessarily the principle of do not murder is do not murder. Guess what? That's what it says.
That's right.
Now, if you have an inclination to go and kick cats, we can talk about that.
Well, that's yeah.
Let's see what we can do to get you out of that.
Yeah,
that's now you're talking about your psychopath and probably serial killer. So
take you away from it.
But you get what I'm saying though. I mean, everybody has their struggle. Where they get a kleptomaniac or something like that. They just have this overwhelming urge to steal stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, well, as long as you can get to the point, it's like, stealing is wrong. Now let's talk about how to get you out of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's ways to make it all work. Just got to work together on it, but you got to understand what you're doing.
Of course, depending on the situation, you can't baby people out of it either. Sometimes you just have to, like, all right, I'm about to wrap your hands in duct tape.
Yeah. No, you can't baby them, that's for sure. Because if you do, then things change.
Mm-hmm.
But, our church is what we are, and you guys are there, and I think we have a great programs going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just really takes time to build things, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I put y'all on the radio with us, and, that's basically what you're hearing is our generic commercial.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be stayed like that. So when I go back and do other stuff, I'll do segments of the events we got coming on, and then they'll play those events at the time as a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go in and knock everything out for the next 3 months, and they'll separate it on their system because it's all computer anyway. And that's how it's played. So,
Okay.
because when I went and did that last bit of stuff, it was, I had like 3 events, I think. They said, well, we're not going to play all those at once. Let's just break this up into segments and just do it like this. I said, that sounds like a great idea to me. That way we're not overcrowding their mind with all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. But the one I did with you heard you guys.
Okay.
That's our generic one now.
All right. Awesome.
And it'll stay like that. I told y'all I was going to do that. I was going to put it on the radio, but you got to advertise it. You got to know that you're there.
Yeah, with no signage or anything out there yet.
Yeah, I got to put.
There's no other way to do it.
I got to get that handled too. I forgot about that, Mike. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, after Passover, we'll look into how much it would be, for a sign. Of course, I mean, since you're
how
already
big a sign do you want? A 3x5, or you want something smaller or something bigger?
It would honestly, it would be nice if it could be something small just to put out there near the 3 nails one for just like a permanent or semi-permanent or whatever, just to say, hey, we're in here.
How about if I create
but then
something
have a larger one to put out there just on Shabbat or on Fridays or something like that to say, hey, services here, and then we take that down.
Well, we can do a 3x5 to put up when you do Shabbat, and we can just put a 3x3 and leave it up there in the front where the other sign's at.
Okay.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking we can build a frame on top of what we already have and put y'all's up there, and ours is there. I mean, it's all right there.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking something small for permanence, for people to know what it's there, and then a bigger one for the temporary, just for Shabbat, saying, hey, we're over here.
Because see, I'm not into politics. I'm not into doing what everybody else outside the church wants me to do in this community. This is what we are. This is what we have. I hope you like it. If you don't, you need to find somewhere where you can go get babied, I guess. Because we ain't gonna baby you. All right. We do the best we can to make it all work. I just want to get this project completed. Some money in our hand, pay the guy. That's my biggest headache I have right now, is getting all that done. Move forward, not backwards. I've been trying. Revivify Church, they're selling a whole property.
Really? Revivify? I've heard of Revivify, actually.
Yeah.
Are they upgrading? Or are they shutting down? Or what's happening?
I don't know what they're doing exactly. I'm going to look up Jason's number. I got it on one of my other phones. And I'm going to call him, because I'm the one that helped him get into a place before where we were at. We were in some big metal buildings.
No, is that the pastor of Revivify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, he's been in existence back when I met him for 5 years, back then. So I'm sure he's already surpassed the 10 already, because we've just now hitting 10 years. That's when we were on Columbia Road, and
generally when you've been around that long, unless something serious happens, like COVID killed a lot of churches, unfortunately.
it helped us.
Really?
This is why it helped us right here. Not this particular one, but
because when I was going to the Cornerstone Community, because I was playing out there for a while before I ended up over at Bible Fellowship. COVID just killed their membership, and when they fully reopened, no one came back.
Well,
And now the what is it?
Your struggle has just it's harder to hold on than you think. That it is. I mean, for me, your struggle has just it's harder to hold.
It's tripping out. But anyway, this is what we were doing before. This was not on Sunday mornings. This was on this was a breaking point meetings, and this is how I was doing it right here before. I cleared out a lot of stuff, and we all sat right up here on this table.
Right.
It's the same thing you're looking at now, except this is black and that's not.
Okay.
So I've still got that banner somewhere, I think, back here in the back. I got to dig it out. And that's what I'm thinking about, hanging back up here again. Maybe a Velcro, Velcro it up. Because when I'm not using this, I'm going to fold it up and then I'll let it down on Thursdays.
Okay.
So I can have a dark or backdrop. If I can get the banner on there, I'm either going to put the banner back up, or I'm going to put up that green thing at the church, the green sign, and I can put it on a stand or something right here behind me.
Okay.
And cover it in black, and it'll just blend right in. But you'll be able to see where 3 nails. But it's right there on the logo now.
Yeah.
It's not like it's rocket science, you know.
Yeah, it's the big church over on Bel Air Road. As soon as you get off on next 194.
Yeah.
And you turn left next to the gas station. You know that really big church. I think it was called New Life Christian Center or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have a bunch of campuses all over the place now. And it was their Edgefield campus, which was right across the street.
This is
On YouTube with us today.
This is how
I want to thank Sean for doing a great job, Cindy and Bill and others that were watching for participating in all the chats that were going on.
This is exactly
I was trying to multitask during this time, and believe me, for me it was kind of hard even.
Really?
So, but thank you, and God bless your day. It is Palm Sunday today, but I want to make you aware right up front that we will be having communion today on this live stream. So be sure that if you would, that you would
That's how we were doing.
follow us with communion. I will announce it toward the end of the message today. I know we don't have a bulletins to hand you. You know what all we have. Or pulling off their garments, if you would, to have wrapped around them to keep them warm.
Anyway, that's what all that is.
Okay, awesome.
And I mean, you know, the way I figured it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we'd been a few years into the ministry, and I thought, you know what? I got enough computer stuff here. I got enough screens.
Mm-hmm.
I just to make this work. I got enough equipment, and I literally ran a microphone, as you saw, on that because we were just trying to get everything because I was singing. We were having to play the music, so I had to tie it into a board.
Yeah.
And everything went into one. And we did it all here. My wife sat right here, literally right here, and ran the system for me.
Oh, nice.
And I would stand there and speak, and then she would teach Sunday school the same way. Let's see, is that? Yeah, that's her right there,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Talk, woman. I guess I need to do this, huh?
Thank you so much for loving us, Lord. Thank you so much for being kind to us all the time. Father, I give you all the praise and glory tonight. In your almighty name, Lord. Amen and amen. Thank y'all, and God bless y'all for being with us. And what? You got something else?
I just want to remind everybody, Tuesday, we're going to head back into the church. So let us know. Call Pastor at 706-284-2526 or myself, 706-877-0288. Let us know either text or by call whether you're going to show up. And remember, we are going to have food. It's going to be just hot dogs and potato chips probably, but we will feed you a little something. But we need to know how many's going to be there so that we can get the church set up and we know how much food to bring. Other than that,
And
look at
Sean will be teaching from the pulpit Sunday night.
Oh, yes, okay. I will be teaching from the pulpit Sunday night.
So don't be scared.
So we hope to see as many of you as feel comfortable coming. And we'll still see you, Miss Jill, on Skype. And anybody else on YouTube that needs to see.
But the problem is when they officially opened up, no one really came back.
But that doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're doing look what we did. We were only out 2 weeks, and we didn't go to the church and string. That's why I did it right here, because I could still do everything. But it just brought a bunch of people to us.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, New Life had a campus right across the street, and they've been looking at that property for a while. And they finally waited until they realized everything was about to shut down, and then they came over and says, "Hey, we want this building." Well, actually, what they originally said is, "We want to merge with you," because they're outgrown their building over there, and they wanted Cornerstones because it was a larger building. So what they originally, I was told they were going to do is they were going to
Where's Cornerstone at? Wait, where's Cornerstone?
Well, there are 2 Cornerstones on Edgefield Road.
Oh, okay.
So there's.
I got you.
But yeah, this was Cornerstone Community Church, which is further up. It was past the Gypsy Camp.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so it's so New Life came and said they wanted to merge, and basically you know what that means. They're coming in to take over.
Yeah.
which is what they did.
I thought about merging with Jason. That's a lot of facility over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could have went in and done our thing there.
Yeah.
Put $2,000 a month in their hands, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just let us have the facility, and you know, but you know, that's not. You know, when they grew real fast,
Mm-hmm.
and they overdid it. I think they had a very strange situation,
Hmm.
very strange. But that's not me. That was
Verify.
on
Oh, did they took over? They were
Venture Crossing.
oh, okay. It is a massive building over there.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking. Never mind. I was thinking about somewhere else. There was another place where it was one church, and then I don't know if they just changed names or another church took over or whatever. But it was a relatively large building. As soon as you get to the end of Riverwatch and you're coming up to Washington Road, before they did all that road work,
Yeah.
to change everything, there was a church that was right there on that road. It's still there. I don't remember the name of it now. Because I know I went there for a special event a long time ago. And I don't remember what it was for. It was under a different name, and then next time I rode by, they changed names, rebranded the whole 9 yards. I don't know if they did it or someone else kind of took over. I don't know. I heard a YouTube or a video recently where a guy was talking about, you know, and initially it sounds like he's trashing on the church and whatnot. It's like, you know, he thinks the whole church structure is whack, you know, and made a lot of pastors mad. But what he was saying is most pastors are not called to do what they're doing. They went to seminary, they became a career pastor, and they have no business actually doing what they're doing because they're not called to do it. So they're just running a church like a business slash self-help, you know, self-help facility or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of them just wanted to get a salary.
Yeah, and there is a business side to it.
Well, you have to look at it somewhat like that.
Because I mean, like
Got to
temple,
pay bills, you know.
I mean, even the temple in Israel, they had bills to pay. You know, they had to pay for all those sacrifices being brought in, with the exception of the ones who were being offered by the people. But as far as the daily sacrifices, the temple had to pay for all that. You know,
Well,
so they actually found a receipt where someone in the temple had written a receipt for something they had purchased.
Well,
Yeah.
we are who we are, and we're doing fine. You guys have got a place to meet now, and everybody gets along just fine. It looks like you might grow a little bit now. It just takes time. Build it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, again, I put it on the radio. How are they going to know you're there if you don't tell them that they're there?
Yeah.
You know, that you're there. I'm big on advertising,
Mm-hmm.
especially on the radio. 88.3's done us good. You know, they cost a little more than they used to, but, you know, it's a business for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I utilize this kind of thing to my advantage. That's why during COVID I jumped on this so fast, because I knew what I was doing. And Scott was not in prison at that time, and he helped me set this up in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've gotten so much more familiar with OBS at the church, and I still had it on here. And then you just helping me tweak all this, so I'm back where I was.
Good deal.
Which is great, because now I just can't see driving to the church on Thursday when there's just one person and maybe a second one.
We've been
sitting.
streaming this whole time. Why? I just realized that.
Unstream it.
I'm trying to find